Peace, guys. It's K Cola.
And it's Young Pharaoh, once again, hosting in place of Marcel.
I feel like I feel like his spirit is with us.
Listen, if you bring me on board, I'm on board, but I ain't got time to get beat up by Marcel. Okay? I ain't got time.
Okay, well, we got young Aaron here, Aaron White.
Yes. Good to be here. Thank y'all for having me. It's going to be good.
Thank you so much. We're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
Being pregnant and being in a relationship. I want to talk about how to have a successful relationship and how, from a male's point of view, how you guys deal with and feel about pregnancy.
I ain't no idol, I'm a lighthouse, I set everybody free.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because a lot of the times we focus on women, and rightfully so, because we are creating the life, but we don't want to forget about you guys, because you guys you're in this too with us, you know, especially if you're married or you're with your girl or you're whatever, you know, you're co-parenting with her or just being around for the pregnancy. So let's start off with, so you're married. How long have you been married?
I've been married 10 years. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary just a couple months ago. So yeah, we got one child, and now we have a baby on the way in November.
That's
Congratulations.
real relationship goals.
Yep.
Okay, yes. 10-year married.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm sure, have had to deal with all kinds of things. Talk to me about how you tackle some of the hard things that go on, things that people typically will, in our immaturity, break up over or just throw in the towel.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, because we celebrate this a lot, is the years. All right. I don't judge. I don't measure my marriage based off of how long I've been with my wife.
Okay.
All right. And that's just something big, because we got them relationships, been each other 50 years, and it's abusive and it's all wrong and it's crazy. What I want to say is, really, I measure it a lot by just the connection and investment that we have in one another. So I just want to say that, because we was this when we met. And then when I say that, you know, so the years add to it. But just for anybody, sometimes we get confused in that. So that's one of the things. I don't base the success of my relationship based off years. I don't base the success off the relationship based off of children, income. I don't even know if my relationship is successful. And I'm going to just start there.
Okay.
All I do know is just that what I've been entrusted with and what I chose to be entrusted with, one, is I'm going to take care of it the best that I can. And with that mentality, we've been able to have this world of just me and my wife, where we tackle things one together. And like we mentioned before, one of the segments was legacy, a healthy legacy. So my wife isn't targeting me. I'm glad that her arrow of love is not my heart, because I will fail her. I would fail her over and over again. My target isn't her heart, because she would fail me. We both, before knowing each other, desired to leave our children with an inheritance that would be healthy. And once we made that our target, when I met my wife, we communicated from that place. And now I feel like we're just walking backwards, not backwards in a bad state, but we know where our end goal is. So now we don't have to worry about where we're headed, where we're going. We know where we're at with that. Now we just working out, how do we get one of the generational curses, how do we now go in from there? So
he's loving this, because he's
Listen, I've been saying this for months, and people are like, what about the love? What about the love? It's gonna be there. But what about listen, he said I just met this brother. I just met him. And you hear he said how long he's been in a relationship. And even though I understand consciously why you say you don't know if it's successful or not, it's successful, okay? Because it's goal orientated. It's spiritually orientated outside of what you think spirituality is. And the goal is beyond just trying to conquer the other partner. So, you know, I totally understand what you're saying. I've been saying it. It's just hard for people to grasp that because they grew up watching Cinderella too much. And you cannot let TV or society tell you, you know, the standards in which you should abide by your relationship by. Because the same people that's creating these TV programs is not, those ain't goals. What's goals on Instagram ain't goals to these billionaires. So I mean, I fully understand, but
it's so true, because even though my child is around me constantly, I have a daughter, and Cinderella and princesses are still a big thing in her life.
right.
And it trips me out of the pull of how she views love. We're there every day. And so she sees that. So she gets a real image of it. However, even with that image, there's still this pull. And we say, you can't know more princesses than you do your ancestors. Like, you just can't know the names of more princesses
Than you do
people who are actually alive in real stories. Johnny B, that was my grandma. Johnny B held it down. She was married for 50 years and all like that. And I remind my daughter of the realness of relationships.
Right.
So she could see that what she's seeing right now is something I never saw. I never saw this. So I'm letting my daughter know every time, what do you mean? You have a daddy and mommy? I was like, I never grew up with that.
Right.
I don't know. I'm doing this as I go. But it's just important, like you said, how do we handle all of that is honestly, one, through transparency, but knowing we've never done this before. So we're just doing good with what we've been entrusted with. And the power of our yes and no is huge in a relationship. What you say yes to is either going to allow something in or no. So we realize quick is just that when I say, so like I haven't, so cheating, right? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, I've never cheated on my wife. Time-wise, I've cheated on my wife. And what I mean by that is I've given my time to other things more important than my time with my wife. And that's something you don't hear about a lot. So I've put a lot of time in work, and a lot of time in what people call ministry, a lot of time in those things. And so the hardest thing we dealt with is what I was saying yes to. And it took a lot of time away that could have really invested a lot. So that was probably the hardest thing.
Can I ask you a question there? Do you suggest that people wait until they get to a certain point before they engage in relationships so that they're able to invest their time in their purpose and things like that, and then they're able to adequately give time to their partner as well? Or how do you balance the time? What is your advice for people who they're still out here trying to get it? And
there's it comes with that. There's no arrival point,
right?
And I think because there'll be people who, depending on what lens you're looking through, you could be trying to obtain something that doesn't exist. If financial income is there's a dollar sign that makes you feel happy. If you once you obtain it and get it, it has no eternal value. It has no reward in that way. So what I mean by that is just saying that if you don't to eat my favorite food, no one has to tell me. If it's right in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. When I saw my wife, no one had to tell me that's gonna be longevity. No one had to tell me this is the one. We had conversation. I wanted more of that. I wanted more of that. No one had to tell me. Then I found what the language sounded familiar, and then we began this journey together. I didn't say this is gonna happen at this time. Right. Timelines suck, and I've been in trouble with that. A lot of people have been on my page, and I be saying that little stuff. I had to check myself. You know what I mean? Relationship is coming soon, and these speaking that stuff out. And my bad on giving out a false timeline to people, because there is no timeline of when something should happen. We base it off of when I get my successful career. That's what you base in love off of. Like when you get the time to everything works out. Like then I just feel like what you chasing is what you mentioned before. You chasing something that is a movie, right? Or you're chasing something that actually
it's a societal standard
does not exist.
Exactly, and that's how everybody living. I'm gonna go to college to waste all this time getting this degree so that I can prepare for this person that I might not never meet. And then who's to say that you're gonna get that degree? Then when you get that degree, who's to say you're gonna get that job? Because we can do a whole nother session on how many people got master's degrees and don't got no goddamn job in that field. So I feel you on that too. Like I got a big thing with not love at first sight, but just that fling. Like, cause we talking about soul talk when we talking like that. The soul don't know time. It's not tangible. So sometimes you meet a person and you just like, yo, this is it. Like I like this person, but we've we've demonized that in society because so many people are undisciplined that it goes beyond that, and it's just like you might be sexually, too out there. Yeah. But I do believe that you could just meet a person the first time and just be like, we hit. Like, that's how some people become best friends. Like, you just go to, you might meet somebody and be like, yo, this is my man. We just been cool since that. I'm cooler with him. Hypothetically, you might be like, I'm cooler with him for the past 15 years and we just met. I ain't know him all my life. And I've been with my brother my whole life and we damn near fight at every family reunion. So it be like that. So I don't do the, I'm with you, I don't do the time. I just feel like you gonna know right here when it's right. Yeah. You don't know.
But how do you balance? How did you get to or are you still working on getting to the balance of being able to work on your purpose? And because I know she's very supportive of you and your purpose. But how did you arrive at, this is what I'm going to give to my relationship and my daughter. This is what I'm going to give to my purpose.
Yeah. It's, the best thing I love about me and my wife is our ability to adjust. You can get somebody you can adjust with, because I think every season comes with something different. I walked into, I'm a youth director, and I'm always with, it's 100 different stories. I feel the pull. I felt the pull. And because of the empathy, the heart, heart for people, I allowed the very thing that why we met, our very purpose, I allowed that to steer me into finding gratification doing that, and that made me build up when really it was man and woman started, me and my wife, and our whole goal was that we would show family into probation camps, group homes, and abandoned youth. That was like the whole goal of our start. Somewhere down the line, I allowed this thing of success, or whatever I call that it to be, steer me away. So when I say I've cheated on my wife a time, I say it in a way, it may be a little bit too harsh. It may be like Clay, who missed a Steph Curry missing a couple of 3-pointers, but the stats is good. I just say that because of goal, what I'm shooting for is that everything comes from the value system of my family. Then we produce out. Now I produce out. And then bring it in. And bring it back to the family.
Come on.
We construct it together, then we push it out. And so that's where I'm still finding a balance of, how do we do that? Even if I'm going out hunting, you know what I mean? There's operations that the family unit is doing, and it still benefits the family.
We talk about that a lot, making sure that whoever you're partnered up with is helping you on your journey of your purpose, not throwing you off and distracting you so that you can't even. Sometimes people will give up on their purpose or their dream because of who they're with.
And sometimes, let me say this, sometimes people jump in situations because it sounds good, but they can't really fit the bill. Let me give you an example. You might be at home right now as a single lady, and you looking at this nice brother right here, and you feel like, I like the way he talking. That's what I want. But then just because you want something don't even mean you qualified to be there. Because you might not have the ambition, you might not have the drive, you might not have the discipline in yourself to be that type of woman. So, and same thing with men. So this is a lot of times also, why relationships can't get off the ground. Let's just say that, because you got people jumping in positions that it's kind of like your friend want to play quarterback, but like, bro, you're not really nice. You can't really quarterback. And then you let him play, and he throw 15 inners. Now you fighting in the gym class when you shouldn't let him play anyway.
Right.
So
that's real.
So it's like if you gotta be honest with yourself. If you don't got no life goals of legacy, go ahead. But if you somebody who thinking, on that path, you can't just be dealing with any old person. Absolutely. Because what you doing is not just any old thing. Period.
True. Very true.
Both you guys are fathers.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know, as a woman who is a mother as well, I've had very rough pregnancies in the sense of health-wise and emotionally. I did not have the support and love that I feel a woman should have when she's pregnant. Talk to me about what happens when your woman gets pregnant. How do you feel? Are there fears? To kind of walk me through what you guys go through when you're a woman.
For me personally, and I'm saying personally because I know we all don't think the same. For me personally, I don't know if it's whether I'm a Virgo, I'm an earth sign, whatever you all want to blame it on. For me personally, and it's happened for both my children, my son and my daughter.
Yeah.
So I know it to be must be a natural synchronicity with my thought pattern. The first thing I thought of is I gotta get it back. That's the first thing I thought. Not out of worry, but out of I'm not gonna look my kids in their eyes when they turn 16 and don't have nothing for you. That if I do that, I failed myself.
Yeah.
I don't care about if I get a woman pregnant and we stay together or not. I don't care about none of that. My goal is when you turn 16, if I can't say, here you go, I failed you. So the first thing I heard when I was pregnant was, it's time to get on my grind. That was the first thing I thought of. I wasn't thinking like, oh, what I'm gonna do, like, or like the fears that the average, they put out there about. I wasn't about none of that. The first thing I was thinking of before you even take your first breath, let's go get this little bank account to the side.
That's so transparent.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, I'm not gonna look. And it might sound long, like you got 16 years. That's not long. My son finna be 2. I got 14 left. Like, that's not long. You know what I'm saying? So I got 14 more years to be able to say, son, here go 20, 30,000 for you. Go start you a business. If I can't do that, I failed as a parent. And them goals might be unrealistic to some of y'all. They might be, realistic to some of y'all. Them just my goals.
Yeah.
So at least if I could say, here go 10 bands, I did something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did something. So that's how I felt. Yeah.
I can relate in the way of the first thing I did was work out. All right, it was the first thing. It's like testosterone hit me like just like a ton of bricks. It was like my wife came in and she said, we're gonna have a baby, and I said, we're gonna be rich. Like, that was literally that. B, you looking at this, the first thing I said,
Hi,
she
B.
said, I'm gonna have a baby, and I said, we're gonna be rich.
That's right.
And I worked out. All right, and it's that time I wasn't working out, and I went, and I think now my wife's a doula, so she kind of let me know now what
she was
going
my
on.
doula, by the way. She's incredible.
Yeah, and so testosterone literally hits you. So I go into this place not of panic, and I love that you said it wasn't panic mode and it wasn't worry mode. It's just that now there's something in me, DNA work. There's something in me right now that has to step it up.
That hunter-gatherer came out.
It just came out, and it's never left. It's like a primal. I went primal. I just went primal, and it's never left. I'm still primal, and and so there was a level up that I never had to think about. Hey, Pharaoh, are you trying to level up right now? You about to have babies? What you trying to do? But at the same time, it was almost like I was in the gym. Like, oh, you pushing that weight? That daddy got that? Let me do this. Let me provide. Let me be there. And then present, like for me, because my pops wasn't present, it was a whole different restoration thing for me. So for me, that's where my mind went first. And I love that you went transparent. You ain't gonna get that a lot. I'm just saying, people don't get what you just said a lot. You know what I mean? So I thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of times you pray, oh my God. No, sometimes it's just
I'm actually shocked by your answers. I had no, and it just goes to show how we think so different.
But it was just that, okay, now presence.
Okay.
I'm gonna be. It's just my mind is I'm gonna be there every step.
You guys are rare because there are some guys who run.
Yeah,
man, I don't even do certain things that I want to do because I don't want to be out of the position to take care of my kids. That's how I think. Like, people be like, why you don't go out? Because I don't want to have to bust one of y'all in y'all goddamn head and explain why I'm doing 4 years on the assault, on the cop out.
Right.
Because I was around somebody who don't know how to carry themselves in public. So it's like, that's how I live my life. Like, if you potentially can bring an experience that will hinder me from being a dad, I'm avoiding it. So I don't club. Like, I'm throwing a party tonight. The address is private. Like, you're not just coming here, because I don't live my life for nothing else but making sure I say, here, kids. That's how I'm living. And that's just how I feel. And I feel like what I hand them, like you said, it's gonna be through them. Like, I'm really not even handing to you. I'm reaching through you to touch my grandkids. So that's how I feel. And I feel strongly about that, because I have to say this. And I don't want to make it a race thing, but I'm about to make it a race thing. We don't have shit, niggas. What are you talking about? Only 0.77% of billionaires are black and mixed. So that's not even black. So Oprah is not even in the 1% of richest people. So when you see rappers throwing money, and if you take all of the money the NBA got, that's not even 1% of the fucking wealth. We're broke. We don't have nothing. So we coming through 2,000 years of Arab slavery, about 500 years of Hispanic slavery, Portuguese slavery, 400, 500 years of European slavery. Then we got redlining, where these white people inflated the cost of homes, they lowered the cost of homes, bought them, and then inflated them so we can't buy them back. So this is why we not homeowners. They inflated the cost of insurance. So if you live in the hood, your house insurance, car insurance, whatever costs more. So we've been economically and financially disenfranchised for 2,000 years. I don't have no time to be playing with y'all. So
also, how they won't let the if you're on welfare, the black man.
Yeah, the black. Now that if you need welfare, the dad can't be there. So I'm looking at the numbers. And I already know I'm going into a fight that I'm losing. But at least if I'm going to lose, I'm going to win. Because I'm going to show my kids how to win. So I'm just like, listen, if it's 0.77% or 1%, that means it's another 0.33% somebody could get in on. And I might not get in on it. But I'm going to get rich and die trying. I'm going to get rich and die trying.
That's a great 50 impression.
Yeah, that was good.
You guys sound like phenomenal dads and guys. Can you guys speak to why some men run, or why they start doing crazy shit? Like, cause that's what I've experienced.
Because I gotta say this, cause I grew up around, like, I'm talking about some of my friends. I'd be like, I don't know how this nigga has been my friend this long. And I thought this was okay. Like, this was my, like, I used to approve this behavior. I'm being honest. I think that we don't realize what we become addicted to. Like, I used to love video games to the point where I would have been like one of them white kids that shoot you over my Xbox. No, like I'm serious. I had comic books that never got opened out the packages. I had like action figures.
You still have them?
No, I lost. Listen, I wish I could have, but I lost them. But I was like a huge, like a meme. Like, I was watching the memes that was in straight like foreign languages. Like I knew, like I could probably go to Tokyo right now and be good and be like, oh yeah, I watched Kim White Ling Ching. Like, I was big on that. So I was addicted to that. So like, if you come and touch like my toy, or like you touch my comic books, I would realistically probably want to fight you. So we become addicted to the temporary pleasures that we engage. So if you got a dude that's addicted to not being responsible, like, I could just have sex with as many women as I want. I can go to the club, I can come in the house at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and you've been doing this for years and years, and this is how your brain been releasing dopamine. A child to you, because we talking about neurological programming. Your brain literally rewires itself. The neurons in your brain literally take different shapes in order to release dopamine in regards to your activities, in regards to what you approve to be a rewarding behavior. So if you've been doing behavior that you feel rewarding for 15 years, it only takes 21 days to break a habit. That's because it takes 21 days for your neurons to do what they do. But let's just say you take this 21 days, you multiply that by 15 years, not even 18. You 10 years old, you just started you started down your road to toxicity. Now you're 25, and you've been doing toxic things for 15 years. But this is how your body chemically sustains itself. The only thing a child is telling you biochemically is you're not going to be able to release chemicals no more like that. You're not going to be able to stay out till 2 in the morning and get that dopamine. You're not going to be able to.
So you better do it all right now while she's pregnant.
Or you better avoid this situation. It's like a crackhead. A crackhead knows they need to go to rehab, but the biochemical construct of the crackhead is saying, because you're not going to be able to release that dopamine. So it's like you're addicted to I call it lower self addiction. You are addicted to your lower self, and you don't realize that this is actually a chemical imbalance that you have. So this is why a lot of people run from responsibility, because responsibility to them is signaling the non-release of dopamine. So
and then let's bring the real at maybe 7th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. A porn tape was brought to school for me, right? It became the norm. Every kid that was in 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade was watching porn.
That's right.
And then it was like our secret society. And it was
makes me sad. because I have a
Listen,
son.
I'm telling you now.
And let me tell you,
it's true.
It's a secret
like
society,
her,
right?
It's damn true.
And then what happens is, for years, we had that conversation, that
Let
talk.
me see your book back.
Right?
Yeah, Mikey,
Well,
bring
yeah,
us your phone.
she's really on the phone now. So the target has always been males in the first place of just being able to have this instantaneous, I could choose whatever I want. And then, so let's put years on that. You know what I mean? Now I'm 16, now I'm 17, this addiction is still here. And for years I lived out all the fantasies I've lived out, and nothing was ever enough. If the truth is, if you want to be transparent, there could be times where you would look at porn, I would spend a whole day and be able to see that. And what I say about that is, now I get to pick and choose in my mind. So now that I'm dealing with reality, well, that is my reality, but now that I'm actually dealing with a woman now, like I'm in a situation face to face, I go on dates with this mentality of, I can have it now, or the worst thing that happened in our marriage was our first year of sex in our marriage was hard. And because it was sold this lie, I had to get rid of all the images
That is crazy.
that I had before. I had to literally get rid of all the fantasies, the things that I thought was sex, that I thought was making love.
Yeah.
And I think, so the reason I say that, it mixed with what you were saying, is just go with the specifics of that is that young men have already had their idea of what sex is, what love is, and it's been tainted and it's been artificially inflated. So by the time we're now dealing with relationships, it's like this microwave thing. And so when we hear that there's emotion attached to it now, there's a spiritual, and there's a baby growing now, it becomes everything aggressively, like you just go against it, and then that's where a lot of that run comes from too as well. So, it's just these are stuff that people don't, this is the language, things we talk about. It's just like, I'm tired of people just not, we don't have that conversation about porn as men. We just don't, you know what I mean? It's just not something that is big, but a lot of it comes from that, and it's okay. Oh, you watch porn? Hey, well, I was watching, that's any woman, you ever hear that? If any person you talking to is watching porn, that if we're gonna talk about a red flag, something to beware of. Yeah, you really better beware of that.
Listen, I just, it's so crazy because I swear.
Thank you for that.
To imaginary Jesus, I don't know if you believe in him, but I have to say imaginary Jesus. I just literally did a live stream, I think a week ago, called "Why It's Impossible to Satisfy Your Partner," and I was talking about porn, and I'm like, listen, porn gives you this is why I just stopped watching porn a long time ago. Because first of all, it grew my sexual appetite beyond the level that it already naturally is. Wow. And then what it does, what porn did for me as a young man, 16, 17, going into 18, it gave me a fantasy female that no female could ever live up to.
No.
Because no matter how much, what you do, I wasn't thinking, damn, these is actors.
Right.
Maybe she's not really enjoying this.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? The crazy stuff that she do is so that she can get paid more. Yeah. I wasn't thinking like that.
She's on drugs,
right.
She gets to cut and
it's like if you watch porn, you watch porn and you're unable to view it as the same way you watch Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise,
right?
You have a problem.
Some people can't even do that. They can't even differentiate regular ass movies either.
Yeah, it's like y'all niggas think wrestling real and you think porn is real. And so so now what's happening is I'm getting into it with these females sexually, and I'm like, nah, that's not enough.
Right.
Because in my mind, I'm like, she did a trick on that thing.
Right.
Yeah. You ain't do no trick. So I keep searching. Keep searching.
Right.
You keep searching.
Listen,
the same way you keep searching through porn because you're unsatisfied.
Right.
Now take that same quest and understand how you're doing that physically.
Wow.
It's like, she almost fit the bill, but nope.
And then she gets, and she's pregnant, and so she's hormonal, and she's not wanting to have sex, and she got the belly. So you're like, what the hell is this?
And then most of y'all, being fair, y'all not. It's not like we planning pregnancies. It's not like so. Most of y'all getting one night stands pregnant. Y'all getting that girl at the club pregnant. So it ain't like we talking like we was together for 3 years and she got pregnant. No, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You went out there on that Henny.
And
you got a baby on the way.
Yeah, that actually happened to someone I know.
Listen, I don't make this up. I grew up in this
Literally,
stuff. Listen, I grew up in that field. I know how it goes. It's a lot of maybe babies out there because of Hennessy and pornography. Yeah. And nobody want to say it. Yeah. Nobody want to talk about it. So,
so can we speak to because I know other ladies have been through what I've been through. Mines were planned. My son, it was quick, but it was planned. He kept telling me over and over again, I want to have a son, I want to have a son. Planned. As soon as I get pregnant, abuse starts, cheating, all this kind of crazy stuff. My newest baby, I waited 2 years because of what I've been through in the past. I want to have a baby, I want to have a baby. I made him wait because I'm like, nope, you're not about to trick me, nigga. And then it's like, I'm pregnant and all the shit comes out. So it's like, you're right, that I could have, that was a red flag. What are some other red flags we can look for?
Eyes is huge. So like when you're sitting at a table with somebody, where does that man's eyes follow? Or what is that girl? What do they look at? So if we having a conversation, everybody give themselves away. We having a conversation, like somebody pass by. And we back in the conversation. It's a simple thing, but where your eyes go, you gonna go in a lot of ways. So unless we able to have that convo, one of the things that I love is me and V are able to, if there's a fine waitress, right? Or is it a fine waiter? We talk about that. I'm like, hey, beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Because my eyes is, we gonna go there, but let's talk about, communicate where the eyes are going.
Yeah.
If there's something else coming in, she's like, baby, you don't need to look at that. Why? What's going on? It's you, baby. You don't need to. It's Brazilian and it's Brazilian.
It's Brazilian.
I can't do the Brazilian. I can do, if it was Dominican, I could do that one. I can't do the Brazilian right now. And we have this very transparent conversation. She know what.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is you be very transparent on that. So, but if the eyes are just lurking. And it's a consistent, and I'm just talking about somebody on just dating,
a constant
practical, just a practical getting to know somebody. If that person, if there's intimacy, you guys are having a conversation, and the eyes can't just focus.
I'm so triggered right now because I'm thinking about my son's father, and literally his eyes would always be all over the place.
So that's just one. That's just a quick in the bag, just. First meeting people, you know what I mean? Okay. Are they talking to you? They trying to get your number or whatever, or communicate, and then same thing. If you can't see the eyes because it's on social media, who are they following? Eyes is what are they seeing every day? Because that has to do with their eyes.
But now people, listen, I'm gonna tell you now, niggas didn't got hip to that.
Yeah, so they don't even follow the girl.
No, not even that. Niggas make their profile according to who they want to go after. A nigga put that RBG on that motherfucker real quick. That shit went from Gucci Man to Marcus Garvey on Tuesday. So
there's a lot
we
of
even need
trickery
defense
going
mechanism beyond that.
Yeah.
You better listen. If you want to go on a date, get a dark room with one lamp, get you a suit, a random Caucasian partner, and interrogate that nigga. That's what you need to do. Listen, nigga, why are you here? What do you want from me? Right?
Get the blue light, bust the blue light on him. See what's going on.
Exactly. You gotta interrogate that man. You gotta interrogate. But
how do you guys feel about when your girl is super hormonal when she's pregnant? How does that make you feel?
By hormonal, you mean moody?
Yeah, just like, oh my god, like everything you're doing is wrong, or even crying all the time can scare someone.
I'm cool with what I can tell is hormonal.
Okay.
And then we're not gonna use pregnancy as an excuse to be toxic. See, that's what we're not gonna do. Okay. And I gotta say that because a lot of females do that. Okay. Like, if I'm hormonal, I can deal with crying. I can deal with what I can identify as hormonal. Don't call me a bitch ass nigga because you're pregnant. Like, that's not hormonal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want to hear, oh, why is the baby? Like, no, you don't call me a bitch ass nigga. Hormonal is like, you don't want to be bothered right now.
Right.
You might be a little snappy. You might be crying. Okay, don't tell me I ain't shit and I can get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, so I have to draw that line because people use things that are actually valid excuses to become excuses for behavior that's actually invalid. Yeah. So I gotta say that to a lot of women out there, okay? Hormonal is not verbal abuse, okay?
If she's super sick and maybe before you guys were having tons of sex and then she's not able to be as sexual as before, how do you...
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
You go into it like, every relationship may be different, but it's a primal state. If this is something that's not going to affect, like, if this is what we signed up for, this is what's going on.
That's how I feel, but
it's
y'all are too good because
we just got common sense. Jesus Christ.
because I mean, this, and then pregnancy is different. This pregnancy is different from my first.
Yeah.
So the first was the beginning stage was very smooth and everything. This has been a lot of changes. For instance, wife can't eat like tomatoes, potatoes. It makes her face break out. We never dealt with that before.
Yeah.
And that brings a whole nother thing. I'm realizing I got to get proactive. And we did a budget. This is just something recent. Did a budget just to be like, hey, have stuff that make you feel like. Get your hair done now more than you've done before.
Right.
Like we need to. So I'm learning for the hormonal times. A lot of it is that we were talking about before. It can bring some insecurities at times, and I won't even say it could just bring stuff where I'm just because you can't do the same thing. So what I had to do was get I'm in this situation with you, so I have to think a little bit beforehand, because I got my daughter right here, and we both can't be sitting with mama just going through it. So it's like, you know what, y'all get your nails done on this time. That's something we don't do. Let's up that. That was something that you used to do on that. Let's up that.
Yeah.
Let's get on. And then those things, I set myself up. I'll just say for a win, but I set us up to where now it's in the budget, something that we're going to do a little bit more. So there's an understanding. So when you go crazy, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about what we talking about now. Now you're taking it a step beyond. You already know there's a protection in place. There's a system that was already in place, babe. So I can't only do so. I mean, I'm gonna do this, and if I do this, this is the sign that I can't help you with you. You can't eat tomatoes.
Right.
You just can't. You ate the tomatoes.
Right.
So I didn't eat the tomatoes.
Right.
And we can add that, you know what I mean, transparent moment but I let it be. But it's they just always adjusting and navigating. So that's a big thing is. All them setups is just like, do they adjust? Are you navigating? Is this some pregnancy? It's not just the one thing that she going through. This is we doing this. And that's the mentality that you would hear. So if somebody said, I want a son. That's once again shooting for
the outcome.
Shooting for the outcome.
The whole,
And really, what that really is being said, sometimes, sometimes we just don't know what it is, but I think it's important for people. I want to shoot for, like we said, healthy legacy. I want to shoot for something. When I hear what you said, 16, is I want to be able to give you an inheritance. I want you to be able. So that's shooting past
just the baby.
Just that. So how you can think 16 years ahead, where people are like, that's so far. Is no, you're thinking that baby doesn't equate baby right now to you. Right. Baby's not a baby to you. Right. Actually, that's the real. Right. I mean, the truth is, this is going to be another. We have a daughter, a son.
I got a son and a daughter.
A son and a daughter. So that's the language. That's what we got to equate things to. Or when we get hit with it, it is scary. So if I'm only focusing in on that, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's because you need it in those times where you're going to be tired. Like the baby wakes up so much, you still have to work, you still have adult things you have to do. And sometimes you feel like, because sleep deprivation is real, guys. It can make you suicidal. It can cause different weight issues, give you depression, anxiety. It decreases your libido. So it's like you're tired, you're not getting any sex, you're snapping at each other. You might look a little crazy because when you're tired, you look a little crazy. You may not be going to the gym as much. Whatever it is, you have to look at this end goal as, okay, it's not just about the baby. It's about we wanted this legacy. We asked for this. Yeah. So I can't hate you right now because this is what we have made this decision together. And I think that's so important to realize before people just throw out. People always talking about, I want to have a baby with you. Oh, we would have cute kids.
Babies. That journey ain't no joke.
No. Put it on Instagram.
Yeah, that journey ain't no joke.
Yeah.
And I want to rewind for a second because I have to say something. And you just re-triggered in my mind when you said sex. So moments ago, y'all heard her ask the question in regards to, how do we feel or deal with, hormonal women who may not be able to be sexually active as much. I want to say this answer universally to all women out there. Niggas is not sex addicts, okay? If we in a relationship, let me say this to you. If I want to get crazy, I'm going to be single. Yeah. I'm going to be single. If I'm in a relationship with you, I'm kind of know I can't be that crazy. So if you get pregnant and you're unable to perform sexually the way you previously did, any psychologically normal person will be okay with that. They will do what they have to do to adapt. Whether that's self-pleasure, self-love, abstinence, celibacy, whatever it is, they'll do what they have to do to adapt. If a person is actually upset that you're pregnant and you don't want to have sex at the high rate, you should be questioning who you having a kid with, okay? Because are you that means 80% of the foundation of your relationship in this person's mind was sexual. And the fact that it's like, what if you broke your goddamn legs and couldn't have sex? Would this person be upset? Like, you have a physical excuse for why you can't have sex. So I just want to say
I have a big fear with that, and I think a lot of other women do. We feel so obligated to keep you guys. Everyone's always talking about keep your man, please, blah blah blah. And I have that. I feel because of my past, I feel an obligation to whoever I'm with to do that. And so I've been scared. Even now, it's like if I'm in another relationship and we decide to have a baby, like, I'm scared. So it's good to hear you say that, because we have to start reevaluating as women who we're having children with.
Yeah,
we really need to look at the red flags. We really need to, like, dive in deep and not overlook these things that could have warned us before, because once you have the kid, whether you stay together or not, you're still gonna have to deal with this person for 18 years or the rest of your life. And honestly, it's not fun co-parenting with an asshole who was just using you for sex or whatever it was and has all these issues, because just because y'all break up doesn't mean the issues stop. All that assholeness is going to be,
it might get amplified.
And magnified.
It might get amplified
because you're not together. So he has no, holds, he or she has no, they may have been like, it may have been a 50%. Yeah, now they're like 100%. Because y'all aren't together. So you're going to have to deal with it times 10. And so we have to start being, wise about who we let into our bodies and who we bear children for.
And I'm gonna put a period on that, so we go to the next topic by saying this: sex should be it should be psychological. What I mean by that is, like, and I'm being totally 100 with y'all, because y'all know I keep it 100. I could never go to the strip club and have sex with a stripper, because, and nothing against strippers, but because if I don't like emotionally like you, I can't smash that. So even when it comes to just the way I feel comfortable with myself sexually, I can't just do the randomness. Like, I could never be, like, if I was a rapper, I'd probably be the only nigga on the bus who don't just smash nobody on the tour bus, because I don't know you. Like, we ain't foreplay, we ain't sent no nasty texts, like, we ain't did nothing. Like, you can't just come in the room and be like, yo, this is my friend and she trying to end for the night. Like, I'm be like, nah, like, I feel like a John, I feel like a trick. So I feel like in a relationship, you should, if your person is not, like, I feel like a healthy sexual relationship is a healthy psychological relationship. Like, what makes me want to have sex with the person that I'm with or that I'm talking to or whatever the case may be is how I mentally respond to them. If you start to turn me off mentally, you're going to turn me off physically. So the reason I say that is because even if your woman is pregnant, if she's healthy, because people do have sex while they're pregnant. Some women have beautiful pregnancies and don't never really get sick or go through them. So if your woman is healthy and while she's pregnant and y'all still psychologically present, y'all should be doing something. Because she's gonna want to. So
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put that out there.
That's true. And I think creating peace for her, always creating peace for your woman helps.
Oh yeah, it helps too. Oh yeah.
And let me end this too. It ain't just on us, ladies. It's on you too. So we ain't putting no extra burden backpacks on no men. Some of y'all too gotta step up and say, you know what? I've been pregnant for 3 months. We only had sex 2 times. Maybe I do need to tend to my man. All right, just putting it out there.
What say you?
I mean, sex. One, I mean, I go from the fact sex helps the pregnancy. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways too. So depending on where you at, especially going for a natural birth, depending on what you want to do, which we doing a home birth. The atmosphere of the whole home is why we want to have our baby in the home. So we want to create an atmosphere constantly, one of love. And sex is just, it just helps. I mean, physically, it helps. It just, everything about it will help the birth of the baby. It'll help the exit way of the baby. It helps. Especially leading up to
and we talked about depression, okay? Because when you ejaculate or you orgasm, your body releases some antidepressants. I'm just saying.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, this was really informative, guys. I'm really happy that you guys were transparent enough to give, me and other women watching the real deal, and also to give insight to other men who, get to hear like a mature level. And maybe some of you guys can rethink whether or not you are really ready to have children. And also a healthy idea of what a successful relationship looks like. It's goal oriented.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, I love you so much, I feel all these things for you, because those feelings are gonna go. The feelings are gonna come and go. So I'm really grateful to get this perspective from you guys.
I appreciate both of you.
Yeah, I get something every time, so it's awesome. Really awesome.
Give them your social media.
Yeah, Aaron White LA. Follow me. See the family. We are actually documenting our whole process of doing a home birth. So it's gonna be real, y'all. Be cheering for us. We cheering you on as well.
Yes, and we love you.
Love you too. I forgot my line.
We hope you heal.
We hope you heal. This is why this is Marcel's job. Look at Marcel, he in the back like, yeah.
Yeah.
Back that up.
We love you and we hope you heal.
We hope you heal.
Yeah.
Hope you heal.